In this video, we're going to be replacing an AC compressor in a Volvo XC90, and this is the V8 version. And as you can see, it's out. So really, I'm not going to tell you how to take it out because I didn't videotape anything. So what I'm going to do is record reassembly, because reassembly is the reverse of disassembly. Alright, well, getting that compressor out was pretty challenging, I can tell you that. It's very tight, and I had to remove quite a bit of stuff to get it out. So I removed the bottom splash guard and the bottom skid plate. Alright, so that's where it goes. It's pretty tight. Fish the old one out, I'll fish the new one in. Alright, so here you can see I've got the new part in there. It's all fished in, but it's not in place. I still need to start all the bolts, plug in the electricals, and hook up the hoses. So a trick for doing this is to start all the bolts and then tighten them down. That way you know everything will be aligned. So that cutout in the fan shroud is actually to get your wrench in there and start the back bolt. Okay, there we have the new compressor in, and there's a long bolt, and that goes on top. And then there's the two short bolts go on the bottom and the back. The other thing is, I really had to drive it on. I just couldn't set it in place and start the bolts. And the other thing, the bottom bolt has to be on the compressor because the frame right here is in the way. The bolt has to be in place when the compressor goes into position. Otherwise, you're not going to get that bolt in there. Remember, the long bolt on top, short bolt on the bottom and the back. Alright, then we hook up the electricals and the refrigerant lines. So there's plenty of stuff to remove to get to that tensioner. So I had to remove this oil line, and I got to bolt it down. It has a bolt and a nut to lock it in place. Got to do that. Put that cover back on. Had to remove that. Of course, I already mentioned I removed power steering and coolant reservoir. So all that stuff had to be removed to get down into the tensioner area. Joy, joy. So there's a little stud on the tensioner actually that you have to bolt this oil line to before you secure it to the top up here. Otherwise it won't fit. Don't forget your electrical connection. Alright, looks like our vacuum is held overnight. I pulled a vacuum on it and let the vacuum pump run for about an hour, hour and a half, somewhere around there. Shut it off, closed off all the valves so it would just read pressure. And now we're ready to add refrigerant. So I have my R134A. I bought this bottle at Sam's Club. I think I paid less than $100 for it. Anyway, it's a lifetime supply. It's what I call it. I still use cans too. If I just need to charge a system because it's feeling not as cool as it should, then I'll just throw a can in instead of hooking up the bottle. So I'll just transfer the hose to the can and we'll get started. So I transferred the hose to the bottle. I think I said can, but anyway, transfer the hose to the bottle. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the low pressure side and start the fill process. Valve on the tank, and I've cut off the valve on the low pressure side, and I'm just watching the reading. I'm going to go check the temperature inside the cabin. Okay, well that went a lot quicker and easier than any of my previous installs. So just above the shifter you can see the AC is on. The one dial is hidden, but the one on the right there is turned all the way to cold. So they're both turned all the way to cold. Now let's check the temperature. Alright, we got about 40 degrees coming out the vent, which is perfect. So I will declare this job a success.